where do you think, when you track back, I've always been fascinated by memories that we hold from our childhood that have left an imprint that's really strong in our lives, whether it be positive, challenging, whatever it may be. What's a difficult memory from childhood do you think that has been the catalyst for so many things in your life? Is there anything that you go back to that you're like, I can see how that, and I had to turn that into a positive?
I think the biggest memory for me is the one of being complacent. You know, as a child, I wasn't really a kid that embraced the world of challenge, right? I was very complacent, okay with being a subpar to low average student, right? I was okay with not trying. I was okay with not giving my all. And I was kind of okay with getting over, right? So the biggest memory that I have in my childhood is like when I got to that early teen years, that 12, that 13, that 14, being sneaky and thinking that you're constantly one-upping someone was that's what I was embracing at the highest level. Do your homework. I did it. Did you really do your homework? I did it. And you taking my word for it and not checking my homework. Oh, I didn't do it, but you think I did. I got over. Ultimately, you're slowly cheating yourself over the course of years, and it's not until you get a reality check as to why that work was necessary that you realize you're just not doing what you're supposed to do with your life, right? You're not giving your all. I had a lot of different examples of that. I truly had a mom that made sure that I had, and I didn't take advantage or embrace the real work that she put in until I got to an older age of true understanding. But to be honest, I really threw a lot of those things to the side. The extracurricular activities, the swim teams, the football teams, the basketball teams, the track and field, the baseball, all of these things as a kid, you don't understand your parents are doing to try to provide you with a world of opportunity. They're trying to keep you occupied. They're trying to embrace this idea of hard work, effort, activity, engage. They're doing all these things or all of these things to their kids, or hopefully, right, for their kids, to put their kids in a position to just want, right? Want the best, compete, study, learn, be excited about their future. That light bulb went off late. Thankfully, when it went off at the right time. And I was able to identify a lot of stuff that I couldn't then. And also, thankfully, that a lot of the lessons that my mom constantly embedded in me about you don't start things that you're not going to finish, you don't quit, apply your all, do this or don't do it. You're not cheating anybody but yourself. All of these things that I heard over the course of time, there was a moment when I got older, it all hit at the same time. The real memory for me now, looking back, is I'm glad that I do see that I am aware of that, because not being aware of that is the hugest loss. Thinking that I took full advantage, thinking that I really applied or tried myself, thinking that was 100% would be the real loss. So one of my best memories is knowing that at one point I was a slacker. I was the guy that wanted to look like he was doing, but never truly was, unless it was something that I loved and embraced. And, you know, that was basketball, but the chances of me making that were very slim. But, you know, that's, to answer your question, it's a ballpark of those memories that I now look back on that I appreciate, but that also act as the fuel for the hard work and the 100% that you see that I put into everything I do today.
What were the shifts that needed to take place in order for you to go from being complacent to being one of the hardest working people who's committed to something?
I'm big on just like logic, right? And there's this like moment that I had where I just kept saying, why not? Like, why? Right? And Russell Westbrook is a good friend of mine. I tease him all the time because the one saying that he has that I wish I would have had, or I wish I got to first, is why not? And it's so genius. It's so genius. It's so simple, but yet so profound. You don't just have to have one job. And working any job, and whether that job is a 9 to 5 or whether it's a, you know, half a day, full day, whatever it is, you don't just have to do one thing. You can do a lot of different things. But there's this weird There's this weird mindset that a lot of people have that you can only do one thing. And when I realized I don't have to just do one thing, I can do a lot of different things. You can be good at a lot of different things, but you don't know that you're good at a lot of different things unless you try a lot of different things. And when I looked around and I kind of just realized how the world goes around, it's all based off of creativity. It's all based off of ideas. It's all based off of thought-provoking, then groundbreaking opportunities. But the simplest things have come from an idea. From your chair to your table to your wheel to your light bulb to your car to your plane to your helicopter to the idea of a hotel, from hotels going to a place of people renting out houses and Airbnbs to taxis to then people driving their own cars. And these are all ideas. And the groundbreaking thought that I had in realizing all these ideas is that these ideas have the potential to touch the sky if a person believes that they can. If a person believes that they can, well, your world of idea changes. Your reason for getting up, your reason for putting your feet on the ground every morning, it can change if you believe that the purpose that you now have and that you're working towards, based off of an idea, is something that you can succeed in. I grasped that understanding and I attached it to everything that I tried to do. I did not set out to be the actor, the director, the writer, the producer, the CEO, the chairman, the advisor. I did not set out to do any of these things. And I want to make it very clear, I don't have the educational background for any of these things. What I had was an idea to try. And after you get an idea to try, what I had was the patience to sit and listen. Be a sponge. Learn. Figure it out. And figuring it out, there was another side of not being okay with the incomplete version of figuring out the thing that I didn't do. Well, why did I go ask all these questions if I'm not going to try it now that I know how?
Yeah.
All right, well, let me try it. The only consequence is failure. By the way, not trying is failing.
Yeah, well said.
I want to make that very clear.
Well said, yeah.
Not trying is failing. There's a lot of things that people can't do simply because you've never tried to do it. And I'm not saying that you should try everything. I'm not saying that you're supposed to do everything. I'm saying that for me, when someone says something and I go, no, I never did that. I have to have a reason for why I've never done it and a justification. If you ask me something and I go, no, and you just say why, and I go, that's not good enough for me.
Yeah, yeah.
I like to have a reason why. And that's the foundation that I stand on. That's how I built this mindset, this level of energy to go ahead. Rhyme and reason within my why. Why not?